bring in Phumlani into the conversation. I'm interested in finding out, will we see more coalitions after the election?
Are we going to see more coalitions?
Yes.
Well, we've already begun the process. I mean, when you look at since 2016, South Africa has descended into the nature of coalition governance, right, that we are seeing in local municipalities. And I think the trend going forward is going to take place. That's the future of South African politics. Now, the big question amongst the analysts and everybody, and I'm sure amongst the political parties as well, is what happens in this election, right? Do we see the ANC sort of coming below 50% and then getting into what could be some form of a coalition government, and what that coalition would look like? So South Africa has entered a phase of its, the one-party dominance is over, right? Regardless of how you see it. ANC has been on the long-term decline. You look at the data in terms of its support and vote since 1994, it's been going down. In fact, the 2021 local government elections, the ANC got the lowest sort of voter since 1994. So we are seeing the trend taking place, and the new phase we enter is the one of coalitions. Now, people tend to be negative on coalitions, that we are going to see disruptions and chaos. But I'm beginning to say, look, let's not fear this new phase of our politics.
But coalitions have proven to be very disruptive and diabolical. Looking at all these provinces, looking at the East Rand, Namayama provinces, coalitions don't work. And there's no party that's going to get an outright majority. So coalitions is definitely going to be the order of the day, but that's what it all points to, Colleen. What is your response to that? I'll give you a chance as well,
Yeah, I want to counter that. And that is, there are many people, we tend to look at the major cities, where of course we've seen some chaos, right? Joburg, Tshwane, and others. But in most, remember, there are I think about more than 30 coalition governments across the country. In smaller places, in smaller municipalities, they've tended to work in most part. Now, let's take the worst case scenario, right, and say that, well, there is that chaos, it's widespread. Let's not fear, let's enter that phase, right, and learn on how coalitions work, right? We've seen it around the world, and how we adjust as South Africans to ensure that our governance, it's going to be a storm. It's going to be a headwind, but we need to, let's prepare to get into that phase of coalition governments and then take it from there and learn and move forward. I think this fear of coalitions, we must really resist it, because what's going to happen is that we'll end up people going back to the ANC now.
Okay, let's park it there because I need us to take